Got Ninja Theory's next game already greenlit, it's claimed. Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming. Senua Saga Hellblade 2 developer Ninja Theory has reportedly already had its next game greenlit, which is an addition to Project Mara, which was first announced in 2020. The report comes from Jez Gordon at Windows Central and is seemingly in response to people misinterpreting the studio's latest Twitter post, in which Ninja Theory studio head Dom Matthews thanks fans. The full message is this. Here we go. Quote, "Hi everyone. As we sit on the eve of the release of Senua Saga Hellblade 2, I wanted to thank you, our fans, on behalf of everyone here at Ninja Theory. We see you and we hear you when you give us such love and support. When you tell us how much Senua means to you, when you tell us how much you are looking forward to the game and how much faith you have in us to continue Senua's story in a way that does justice to the connection so many of you have to her and to Hellblade. From the very beginning of Senua Saga Hellblade 2, we have had you in mind, and I truly hope that when you play the second chapter of Senua's story, second chapter, Scott, gotta be a chapter 3, you will find that familiar connection once again, and that also so many people will find their way to Senua and her world too. Making video games is difficult. Much like Senua, we as a team have been guided by a conviction to achieve our quest, to make a game that sinks you deep into Senua's world and to take you on a journey that leaves you thinking and feeling. I believe as we achieve our quest, and I hope you'll agree, I'm very proud of the game, very proud of our team, and very proud of you, our fans, who have supported us on this magical journey. Thank you, Dom Matthews, studio head." End quote. In a time of industry mass layoffs and uncertainty, it's not difficult to see why some people came to the conclusion that the message felt like a goodbye. Nope. Yeah, I did not take that way at all, Scott.
No, in my opinion, if you spend more than 30 seconds reading through it, it doesn't seem like that. But I think we're just being trained into anything that's a full text post on social media these days tends to mean that the studio is not doing so well. But it appears by my eye and everybody else's that Ninja Theory is doing just fine.
I think so. However, Gordon reports that this is nothing more than a warm message from the studio head, and that according to their sources, their next game has been greenlit. Gordon reiterates that the greenlit project is in addition to Project Mara, which was announced first in 2020. Scott, here's inside baseball. When we get, so we have our review, our full review is up there. Go check it out. It's over on itgtv.com. You don't want to miss it. Steve and Scott break it down, their thoughts, high level thoughts. Steve liked it, Scott liked it. There's a lot of likes going around today for sure, right? It's one of those things. It's well supported. This is a very pretty game, dude. Watching your review, I was like, wow, man, like, wow.
Beyond what my eyes can see.
Yeah,
literally,
right? Yeah. So when we get our embargo coverage and we get the codes and stuff like that, we often get a message from the studio saying, "Thank you for checking out the game. Thank you for taking the time, your time, the fans' time," right? Because right now, if you don't like it, then there's something else to play. And there's that all the way around the board each and every day. But this is just a, hey, you know what? We've been working hard on this. You've supported us across our journey this entire time. Thank you. And that's how I took this message. I didn't think it was a goodbye whatsoever. My other question then becomes, is it Hellblade 3?
I strongly believe it could be a Hellblade 3. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but let's just say that it is possible, and I would be very happy if there were more Hellblade. I think what you pointed to, actually, the second chapter of her story, to quote Dom here, I believe that is the indication. One day we will get more Senua. That one day might be a long ways away, however, because development cycle for something like this, the technical power behind it, it has to be a very long development.
Well, it put the game at a whole other level when you take a look at this thing. Dude, Unreal Engine 5, what a powerhouse. And that's what Ninja Theory used to create Senua Saga Hellblade 2. And it shows. Like, this feels like a true next-gen experience when you get into the depths and how realistic this looks. This is how you pull this off. And when we get into, like, PlayStation 6 and Xbox, whatever they call the next one, right? Dude, this will hold. This will hold up moving forward, right? You know, some games get really stylized. Like, look at Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Dude, that art style is unique enough that it'll hold for years to come. You go way back to like PS2 days, right? And PS1 where things are starting to go 3D. Like right now coming out is the Tomb Raider trilogy. Dude, those old school graphics don't hold today, right? So
I think of some of there's highlights in the past that The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
yeah.
Everybody hated how that looked day one, but it
now?
aged very well. It looks just as good now as it did back then because it wasn't trying to do that hyper realism. But
Right.
in this case, for Hellblade, it is absolutely. We're already beyond what I can see. There's no way it's going to look better than this, other than plugging it straight into the back of my head or something.
I'm very curious to see, first of all, what is Project Mara? What are we getting into here? Is it another deep narrative story focused game? Or are they looking just to kind of, hey, you know what? Hellblade was an adventure on its own, right? From 1 into 2, the way that game just plays with your mind, like the audio is just at a whole other level there. And watching your review and listening to Steve go on and listening to yourself talk about the games, is like, man, this is something, not my play style, definitely not my kind of game, but very, very cool, very artistic, very visionary, I think, moving the game forward. Scott, is this a Game of the Year contender?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. I don't know if Xbox will actually come in and take that trophy because they somehow never do, but
Yeah. I don't
at
know.
least for what I can remember of the course of this year, this is absolutely a standout for me.
So back in 2020, Project Mara is announced. We're now greenlit for the next one, whatever the next game is. Do they take a break, or is that greenlit project Hellblade 3? Is the biggest question. And we want to hear from you over at itgtv.com. Let us know your thoughts. Ninja Theory, what are they working on next?